You know, the beauty of Linton's Enchanted Gardens is the fact that landscaping design takes on so many different looks, whether it's residential or commercial. And Mark Linton, today it's a commercial project. We're on location here at the Elkhart Clinic.
You know, a very well-known and very popular location,
Yes.
very highly respected
Absolutely.
facility here. I've been here multiple times, and I'm sure you probably have as
Yep.
well.
Yep, and Gary has as well, our producer. So it is a place that's been around for a while. It serves this community like none other. And it was getting a little tired on the outside. The landscaping hadn't been replaced for a while, or maybe ever, right?
It was pretty old and tired, yes. And we had some challenges here, not only with updating the look, but this sidewalk here is incredibly popular, very heavily used, and for that reason, during the winter months, they heavily salt this. And if you aren't familiar with what salt does to plants, it kills most plants.
Wow, wow.
And so we had to come up with a plan, a design that would tolerate that high salt content.
So
And
it's actually a plan that saves the clinic some money, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah.
And so what we came up with are these magnificent dwarf repeat blooming daylilies. Probably out of all the daylilies that we grow. Oh,
Wow, they're tasty too.
yeah, they're poisonous. Just kidding. They're edible, yes.
knew they were.
They are edible. And they're very tasty,
Not
yes.
bad. What
But
are we
we
going
can-
to drink?
But we came up with a plan here that works with the environment. For safety reasons, they have to heavily salt the sidewalk here.
Right.
And that salt would get on the plantings here. Where daylilies, they are incredible. They tolerate that high salt content.
So that was the biggest challenge of all, but you really want to wrap around all of that a warm and welcoming environment, don't you?
Exactly. You know, we've got this dark brown brick exterior here, and the nice thing about the daylilies is that they contrast up against that brown brick.
Right.
And these will continue to bloom. They start blooming late spring. They bloom throughout the summertime and into the fall. They're also going to spread and fill in quite nicely. And the goal here that the clinic wanted to achieve is when the guests walk in here, you know, there's a lot of sad stories out there, but they wanted to put a smile as much as possible on their guest face.
And you know what? That's a very important part of the healing process, isn't it?
It is. And then what we did was follow the architecture of the building. We've got
Yeah.
these small
Nice.
windows here. They're up rather high, but we didn't want to block any light from coming in there. And so we are utilizing these dwarf burning bush, which as they grow and mature, we're going to stop their growth at below the base of the windows. And these are going to turn bright red in the fall, give us a nice pop of color.
So this is really a plan for the next 20, 25 years probably, right?
Exactly. Now, in between the windows, this was an opportunity for some height, and so we've got these dwarf compact emerald green arborvitaes, and these are the bones of the landscape. They're going to stay green 12 months out of the year, where the daylilies in the fall, when they turn brown, you cut them down, and the burning bush, they lose their leaves. We wanted to have some winter interest because we're here in Michiana, and we have winters.
Yeah, exactly.
So underneath the windows, we've chosen dwarf burning bush.
Okay.
We'd like to keep them below the base of the windows, and we want as much sunlight to come in to those windows as possible. And what we have developed here is a theme. So every space in between the windows, we have height. Underneath the windows, we've got lower growing shrubs.
Boy, you know what you're doing, Mark Linton.
After 37 years, it's easy.
But you know what? There's shade around the corner, isn't there?
You know, the light conditions totally change as we go around the corner here. We've got a nice little sitting area here with the park bench. That was actually part of the original landscape.
Okay.
So as a nice backdrop, we've got a taller ornamental grass here, and that will come into its glory later on this season. And then when we get here in the shade, we've got a combination of our Annabelle hydrangeas, which is our old-fashioned hydrangeas, and these are just now starting to bud.
I see that.
And a lot of folks refer to these as snowball bushes because those flowers get so huge. They're pure white flowers. These are going to get to be about 4.5 feet in height and about the same in width. And Craig, what we did was we played off of these white flowers and chose the variegated hostas so that that white foliage ties in together.
Ah, that's awesome. Well, Mark, you talked a little bit earlier about one of the challenges being the salt. You know, how to maintain that balance in the wintertime especially and keep the plants and trees and shrubs alive. Any other challenges that you ran into?
You know, because this clinic is so popular here in Michiana, it is tough at times to find a parking space.
Oh, yeah.
And so this really was a weekend project. We had to come in here and do the installation over a short period of time.
Wow, interesting. Well, listen, if you want a little help, whether you are a do-it-yourselfer or maybe want Linton's to take care of it all, Mark, there's still plenty of time, right, in the summer?
Absolutely.
Give Linton's a call, won't you? And you will not be disappointed. Hey, we've got a lot of great ideas still coming up on the program, so don't you move, don't go away. We'll be right back.